the government of India has objected to Twitter for using the manipulated media tag for tweets on the toolkit that the government says, the BJP leaders say, have been put out to defame the government's COVID-19 efforts. They have asked Twitter now to remove this manipulated media tag, as they say the matter is pending investigation. All of this after the BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra's tweet alleging that a Congress toolkit, as he put it, was being used to discredit the government and Prime Minister Modi's handling of the coronavirus. This was marked as manipulated media by Twitter. The Congress has urged Twitter to remove these tweets by him and by other BJP leaders, citing its police complaint calling the so-called toolkit a con job. Sambit Patra of the BJP had posted this tweet on the 18th of May with the hashtag Congress Toolkit Exposed. It was shared by several BJP leaders, and this alleged toolkit had instructions on, as the BJP puts it, cornering the Narendra Modi government and the BJP on COVID mismanagement. Let's go across to Akhilesh for more on this. Akhilesh, the government coming down hard on Twitter, but on what grounds are they objecting to this tag that Twitter has put on these tweets?
Well, Sarah, the government says that Twitter is just an intermediary. It cannot assume the role of a judge or a court. Only a court can decide, or an investigating agency can decide whether any document which is posted on Twitter is actually authentic or is fabricated. So Twitter cannot assume the role of a judge. That's what the government says, and that is why the government has objected to Twitter tagging Sambit Patra's tweet as manipulated media. So this is very clear from the government's part. They are also saying that, by doing this, the Twitter is saying actually that, it's prejudging the whole issue, and it's an action taken with prejudice. So the government says that the investigating agency is already looking into the matter. We know that the Congress has lodged an FIR with the Delhi police, and also the Congress party has written to the Twitter that a fact-checking website, Alt News, has gone through the documents which were posted by Sambit Patra and other BJP leaders, and the Alt News has found out that those were fabricated. So on the basis of Alt News investigation, the Congress party returned to the Twitter, and now after that Twitter had tagged this tweet as manipulated media. But now the government says that Twitter must remove this tag immediately, because Twitter cannot assume the role of a court.
All right, but then by those grounds, Akhilesh, then if an investigation is underway, shouldn't then these tweets also, wouldn't the same argument work the other way around?
Absolutely, but the government says that everybody should wait for the investigation to complete, and before that you cannot jump to any conclusion. That is why the government's position is very clear. And of course, now it's a political slugfest also between the Congress and the BJP. And Congress was, saying that after tweeting, Twitter marking this tweet as manipulated media, it is now exposing the BJP that how the BJP tried to manipulate the entire alleged so-called toolkit.
All right, so let's await a reaction from Twitter next. Thanks so much for that, Akhilesh.